What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. And I just finished watching the Knicks defeat the Boston Celtics in 6 games. Game 6 at Madison Square Garden to advance the Knicks to their first Eastern Conference playoffs since 2000. So big deal for the Knicks in the city of New York. And Jalen Brunson, has been one of, if not the best player in the postseason, just entirely, throughout the entire NBA this postseason. So I want to talk about, though, because the last time the Knicks were in the conference finals, they played the Indiana Pacers, and they lost. I believe they lost in 6 games. Could be wrong, but, Reggie Miller was on the Pacers at that point in time. So the Knicks are facing the Pacers again, and this time it's not Reggie Miller. It's Tyrese Haliburton and Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith and TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin and all these guys. So I want to talk about who I think, just, from a quick glance, high level point of view, which team I think is going to come away victorious and advance to the NBA Finals. So if you ask me, I think the Knicks have a better team, but that has not stopped the Pacers so far in the playoffs. So obviously the Pacers came out and smacked the Cleveland Cavaliers in game 1. They didn't necessarily come out and smack them in game 2, but they won game 2 in a demoralizing manner where they won on, Tyrese Haliburton making a game-winning shot. But I wouldn't say that the Pacers were a better team than Cleveland. They were just a better team in that series, right? And that's the craziest thing in the NBA. It's not always the better team that is winning the game, right? You can say that the better team is winning the game because that's the better team that night. But in reality, the Cavs were the better team. Cavs were the better team throughout the season. And, they were a better team in the first round as well, right? And then they met up with the Pacers. I think what happened to the Cavs, which I'll do a whole video about the Cavs, but I think the Cavs just kind of lost it, right? Like, they thought that they were all that in a bag of chips after the first round, blowing out Miami. Miami clearly just didn't even want to be there. And I think they took it a little too lightly on the Pacers, to be completely honest. And I think if things were different, they should have came out with more energy and really done something, right? And they didn't have Darius Garland. I think that was a big piece for, I believe the first 2 games. So, what's done is done. Pacers are moving on to the conference finals. I'm very excited for this matchup. I think Knicks versus Pacers are going to be crazy. It's going to be an absolutely wild game. Just every game, I think, is going to be crazy. And I think at this point, too, the Knicks probably did not think that they were going to have home court advantage to start the conference finals. I think the Knicks probably thought they could make it this far, but it's crazy that they have home court advantage, right? So if I had to pick, right, if I had to give my guess here at what the outcome is going to be in this series, honestly, shout out all the Knicks fans out there. I think the Knicks are going to take it. I think I have a lot of faith in Jalen Brunson. I think Miles Turner is going to be a tough matchup for Karl Anthony Towns defensively. I think Miles Turner is going to be a very tough defender when it comes to defending Karl. And, but I think these teams match up pretty well, honestly, right? Like, I think OG and Ben Mathurin match up pretty well. I think Josh Hart matches up pretty well with Aaron Nesmith. I think there's a lot of different things. I think the real mismatch is going to be Tyrese and Jalen Brunson. So that's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be cool to see Obi Toppin coming back to play in New York, especially on a huge stage like this. So it's going to be an exciting matchup. It's going to be a super exciting matchup. I think this series could go 7 games. I think likely it goes 6 or 7 games. And it could go either way. I'm going to give the slight edge to the Knicks right now, just because I think the talent on paper is a little bit better, and I think just the way that they've been playing is incredible, right? The thing that worries me, though, a little bit about the Knicks, if I'm a Knicks fan, I'd be a little worried that a lot of the time in this series against the Celtics, they were down, a lot. I think they said a stat during Game 6 that was like the Celtics led during the series for like 50 or 60% of the time. Or no, sorry, it was higher than that. I think it was like 70% of the time. And the Knicks only led for like, you would think it'd have to be the other 30, but I think they said it was like the Knicks only led for like 17% of the time. I don't know. I'm probably getting the stat messed up. Cut me some slack. It's a little late. But moral of the story is that the Knicks did not play with a lead in most of these games. And the Knicks figured out a way to come back and win, right? But you can't rely on that all the time, right? You can't just rely that, okay, we're going to get back by 20 points and we're going to figure out how to win in the last 12 minutes, right? Like, it's very hard to do that, but that's what happened in games 1 and 2 against the Celtics, right? So it's going to be difficult, because you're going up against a team in the Pacers that can do the same thing, right? I think out of any team that we've seen so far in the East, the Knicks and the Pacers have the most fight. Like, they do not give up, even if they're down 30, 20, 15 points. It doesn't matter. So I think the Knicks are going to come away with it, but I think it's going to be a really hard-fought battle. I think anytime these teams meet in the playoffs, it's entertaining. It's going to be an awesome series. I'm very excited. So get your popcorn ready. But before you do that, let me know in the comments down below, who are you taking? You think it's going to be the Pacers representing the East in the NBA Finals, or do you think it's going to be the Knicks? I want your thoughts in the comments down below. So please leave those comments. Let me know what it is and what's up. I'm going to catch you later, guys. Stay safe, stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.